Okay, so today we deal with the different ways of measuring success. Yeah, and we'll start with identified two different categories, two different ways of looking at success. You have a political um, based and a spiritual based. Now, the physical, intellectual, spiritual, I call it PIS. Um, you can have success in that category, or economic, social, and political, I call that ESP, and you can have success in that category. The achievements associated with PIS, the physical ones, you get world records, personal bests, etc. And you become a very good physical specimen. And obviously, you can't spend all your time at the gym, and you get some time to be um, an intellect. You could get doctorate degrees and diplomas, and also spend some time on your spirituality, where you have theological innovation, heightened awareness, and peace of mind. And if you've chosen to measure your success uh, using ESP, you need to have economic success, financial independence. You should aim for a director or managerial position or some form of employment, and also socializing. You get over 1 million followers on your social network. Marriage, a sexual relationship. Those are successes. Political success, you're elected president, highest success. Election to parliament, election to local government. You can afford to do that if you've got 1 million followers and you've got financial independence or a high position. You can afford to do those things. You can afford to do that. But if you got your high physical specimen, highly intelligent, you can afford to do theological innovation, because you need a strong mind and body to become spiritual. You can't be a weakling. Yeah. Now let's look at the different mixed scenarios. If your mixed scenario is 50% PIS, 50% ESP, you spend let me put a line between that so you can see it. Hold on. You notice that you spend 16% of your time at the gym. You should do 16 dealing with educating yourself and improving yourself, and 16% at some kind of temple or religious place of worship, and 16% at a public venue socializing, 16% at your workplace, and 16% at a political venue, yeah, or having political discussions. If your mix is you spend no time on the physical, intellectual, and spiritual side, you're 100% ESP. You end up not going to the gym, not doing any kind of education, not doing any kind of spiritual work, and you spend most of your time at public venues, in the workplace, or at political venues. Yeah. And if you're 100% physical, intellectual, and spiritual, you end up 33% of your time spent at the gym, 33% at a political at a education institute or educating yourself, and 33% thinking about spiritual things. No time for political, public, or workplace situations. Yeah. Now, when you're victimized, you can be victimized in one of when you're victimized, you can end up in one of these three different scenarios. This guy is not normally victimized. This guy can get to do some physical, intellectual, spiritual, public work, and political stuff. He's not victimized. These are normally favored in society. The favored, if you're favored in society, you should aim for this mix. Yeah, take advantage of your position in society. You're not victimized, so you should be getting yourself balanced. But if you're victimized and for some reason no one wants you to have any physical success or any education success or any spiritual success, then you have these three tools to work with. You've got to be a very likable person, so you've got to be out in public, seen by people and gaining friends, and you have to be working a lot, yeah, to get your financial independence. And you also need to be politically aware and put politically on top of your game. You have to be one of the top politicians. Yeah. Um, because ideally you want to get into this scenario here. Yeah. So you have to work hard at these three places to open this up. Now, I'm the kind of target that has been targeted on this side. So I'm not really allowed to indulge in any of this. Yeah. So I spend most of my time and I divide my time up properly. I spend half the time doing physical stuff, half the time educating myself, and half the time raising my spiritual awareness. This should open up this side for me. Especially my spiritual awareness should open up this side for me so that I can become balanced. But as this side opens up, I will be taking some time from there. I'd like to not take time from there so that I balance only like 33% of my time between these three things here. Oh, sorry, 66% of my time. Yeah, around 33% of my time balancing this thing here. Yeah. And the fallout from each case one, basically victimization from indulging from political activity is low, but it will be there. You be in good health because you go to the gym. You have average intelligence. You don't spend much time in education. And you have low spirituality. Yeah. So your life expectancy will be high because you're favored. You can do everything. If you make the right choices, your life expectancy should be high. In case two, the need to perpetrate and stay on top of the political sphere, because you have this need to be on top of the political game, and you're highly active politically. You're gonna deduce that you need to be a perpetrator and victimize others to stay on top of your political game. These are normally ones who are the perpetrators. Yeah, you're normally in ill health because you don't do any kind of physicality. Yeah. You're a very medicated lifestyle. Because you're in ill health, you have a very medicated lifestyle. You're ungodly. Yeah, most likely to turn to demonic worship. And you have very low intelligence because obviously you had no time for education. And when you did go to education, you just used your political influence to get your degree. So you really didn't get educated, you just bought it. Yeah. And you're a very poor physical specimen. These are scrawny looking people with no muscular definition of any kind. And you tend to be very rich because if you do this a lot, you have like 1 million followers. If you have 1 million followers on social networking and you don't become rich, then boy, you're doing something wrong. You're politically aware, you have lots of friends, and your workplace is nice, and you normally become very, very rich. Yeah. Your life expectancy is high because although you're very medicated to compensate for your ill health, you can afford to influence things so that they don't tamper with your medication. As long as the medicine, as long as bacteria and viruses don't become resistant to the medication, your life expectancy should be high. Case 3, which is kind of always been my case. Yeah. You're very spiritually aware, very good health, non-medicated lifestyle, perfect physical specimen, very poor. But then your life expectancy is also high. Because obviously to have a high life expectancy, you need good health and you need very good spiritual awareness. Yeah. And I should also add you're highly educated as well. Yeah. I should add that here as well. Highly educated. Hold on, give me 1 second. In low letters. Hold on, let me just move that up to. Yeah. Give me a second. Yeah, you tend to be highly educated too. Yeah. All right, hold on. Right. So, with your high education, your good physical health, and your spiritual awareness, you should also have a high life expectancy. Now, those of you who um, are targeted, yeah, um, you should definitely aim to have this mix here to create a world where, although you're targeted, you still live in a balanced way. Yeah. And if I'm because I'm targeted like this, I'm not allowed to have any kind of social success, um, economic success, or political success. Yeah. I have a 100% of the time. How do I divide that time? I divided it into these three components, and I concentrated on that. Yeah. But when you're targeted this way, spiritual success, yeah, is very, very important. Very, very important. You need to, then you have the opportunity to become a spiritual leader, if you like. Yeah. Spiritual leadership doesn't mean that you have followers. You have a leadership in terms of your theological innovation, your understanding, yeah, of the Most High, because you have so much time. You don't have any time. Like this guy has no time for the Almighty. This one makes time for the Almighty if he's wise, yeah. But if he removes that, he risks getting targeted one way or another. If he removes that, he risks losing that or losing that. So, but this guy and me as well, yeah. Uh, but this is very important to me, so I'd rather reduce this to get some of that. So you just work out your mix. Just work out what type of target you are. What type of victim are you? Yeah, you're either case 2 or case 3. Yeah. If no one's victimizing you in society and you're not balancing yourself out, then you're victimizing yourself. Yeah. So work out what type of victim you are. If you notice that every time you go to the gym, people start to intimidate you, and every time you try to get an education, they start to act funny. Every time you try to get something spiritual, some voice in your head tells you not to. Then you got to work on this, yeah, to be able to get to do this. But with me, every time I try to socialize, people act funny. Every time I try to get somewhere, to a higher position, they act funny. Every time I try to develop a political um, base, people act funny. So I'm restricted to this. So I work hard on this, yeah. And you spend your existence on this, yeah. But this becomes very, very important, yeah, if you've been restricted this way. This becomes very, because we're social animals. You need to talk to someone, so you talk to the Most High. But this guy talks to everyone. But this guy has a need to talk to people, and he also has a need to talk. You should have a need to talk to God if you have no problems here. Because when you over socialize with people and you don't need to, it's not like you're a victim. You don't need to. You'll find that they'll piss you off, and you need to spend time alone, and then that's when you realize that you need to approach the Most High. Yeah, if you don't, and you're not victimized this way, you end up committing suicide if you don't have the Most High in your life. But this guy has no choice. He's been victimized. He's not allowed to do any of this. He's been victimized, so he has to work hard at this. Becomes neurotic, psychopathic, sociopathic, and he just becomes a perpetrator as a result. And with me, I have so much time. I've been victimized this way, but I make time for the Most High. Yeah. And that's how you sort out your success. I feel successful. We all feel successful in some way. Yeah. We all have high life expectancy, so we all feel successful. Yeah. It depends. And when you're choosing your partners, you choose a partner that's looking for that with the mix that you are. Yeah. If you're victimized this way, then I suppose your partner should complement that. If you're victimized this way, your partner should complement that. But if you have a scrawny looking man with a physically perfect woman, that might look funny. And if you have a physically perfect man with a scrawny looking woman but she's very rich, that normally happens, but it also looks funny because she'd be mixing in a higher social class and you be dumb as fuck. Socially dumb, yeah, but intellectual, yeah. But you be socially dumb. So if your woman is this and you're that, it could work. But this guy, I suppose, can mix with everyone and find a way. Yeah, but if I'm not gonna mix with a woman who's ungodly, just try and figure out what you're looking for. Yeah, if I'm mixing with another victim, um, I'll most probably look for a victim of the same type, and if we work hard at this, we should be able to get some of that. But I can't look for this type because it's ungodly. Yeah, and obviously I won't be allowed to have someone who's accepted in life. So the average looking woman I won't really have. The only women I can have are those who are victimized, and I'm aware of that. Yeah, because this is to get acceptance in society. You have to be born in the right family. You have to just luck of the draw. Those are the cards we're giving you. You have to be ideally placed, and everybody in your surroundings must be someone who can open up these avenues for you, and you have time to do all this. Yeah, but if you're surrounded by people who are physically superior to you and you're new, they will most probably feel jealous of you when you try to do any of this, and you'll be forced to become this. Yeah, but I didn't have anyone who in my life who saw physicality as something they valued, so I never got jealousy that much from being physical specimen. And education, I was victimized a lot for that, and obviously there was a lot of non-religious people around me, so they didn't really care for my religious. Um, they didn't see that as something to get jealous of. But very late in life, they started to see that, and when they start getting jealous of this, you open this up, yeah. And if you're someone who's doing this, when they start getting jealous of you being like this, you open this up. Yeah. And it's a jealousy from people that will open up this, if you're wise. So be careful out there and know what victim, know what case is you. Yeah. And the components of the successes you're looking for are these. If you're currently living this lifestyle, yeah, when they get jealous of you, you start adding these. If you're currently living this lifestyle, when they get jealous of you, you start adding these. Yeah. And you start getting achievements and successes all around you if you know what type of victim you are. Okay, that's it.